welcome to episode 1 of Games Tasker. This is our first episode, but we have got episodes on the sites and Spotify and everything. So yeah, there's 15-minute reviews and we've got plenty of them coming. But this is officially our first episode. Today I am joined with Brendan.
Hello there.
He's not Irish. Robbo.
How we doing, pal? Happy to be here. Looking forward to this one.
Good, good. And joined with Jamie.
Hello. Howdy doody.
AKA Bumcheek Dave. So, yeah, first episode. It's exciting times. We was part of Lads of the Past Crusade. We won't mention any more about it, but there was a... We won't mention any more about it, but there was a guy who... We won't mention any more about it, who's a bit of a... And we just won't mention any more about it. So we have started our own podcast, and we have got loads of videos on YouTube, top 10s and everything, so check us out over on YouTube. But yeah, there was this one guy who we won't talk about. And so what we're going to do today, we're going to usually, everyone always starts a podcast with positivity. Oh, we love games. Oh, we love everything. Everything's so fantastic. Everything we love about retro. We're not going to do that today. This is not what this is about. This is our worst games. So we're going to get some anger out today. We've got, none of us have got Oasis tickets. We're angry. We're pissed off. And we're going to talk about our worst computer games in history. We're going to go through our consoles, pick off the worst games that we can think of, and then we're going to do the worst game in history, and we're all going to discuss it. And, yep, it's going to get a bit fiery, so if you guys don't like it, who's listening, you don't like firiness, or you don't like anything angry, or you want to hear positivity, go and listen to some of the other nerds over on their podcast, because we're going to talk about the worst games. So, the worst game for you, Brendan, on the Mega Drive. Worst game. There's a lot of shit games on the Mega Drive.
Yeah, I was hoping you was going to go to something different than the Mega Drive, because I love the Mega Drive, to be honest. Mega Drive, worse. Echo the Dolphin. Got to be.
You just took it straight out of my mouth. I think that's what I'm going for.
I think everyone's is the Echo the Dolphin.
Having to jump over that fucking rock at the beginning, you never get over it. Bink.
The biggest pile of dolphin turd I've ever seen in my life. And I can't believe how hyped up it was as well. If you think back to when we was all young lads playing, I don't know, Columns or Super Hang-On or whatever on the Mega Drive, and then you kept seeing this game keep getting advertised, Echo the Dolphin, this is the next level of gaming. And I can remember everybody was going mad for Echo the Dolphin, and I'm pretty sure like at least 10 of my mates got it on release day, and it was the biggest pile of absolute... I don't want to swear too much on this new podcast, but yeah, you can all imagine what I'm thinking about Echo the Dolphin.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I've got two. I mean, Echo the Dolphin is probably one of the worst games I've ever played, and a lot of people shoot me down for it. But it was terrible. I mean, I enjoyed jumping out of the water. I'll give it that. Like swimming as a dolphin, jumping out of the water and being a dolphin. And then my mate was trying to sell it to me. He's like, "Oh, mate, you can eat fish." So what? And then what else you do? It's like, "Oh, you travel back in time." It's like, no. I know. There's a dolphin travelling back in time. And my top game, I hate, is X Mutants on the Mega Drive.
That's bad.
What a terrible game. It was. I think the gameplay wasn't that bad. I think it was every time you threw an axe, it was like, die, scumbag, die, scumbag, die, scumbag, die, scumbag. I was like, mate, shut up. Like, just shut up. I'm trying to kill some. Die, scumbag. Shut up. Mate, honestly, I swapped it as well for X-Men, weirdly. I swapped it for X-Men on the Mega Drive with my mate Richard, and he was fucking laughing his head off. Swapped it as well. Took it back, and literally, it was a rainy Sunday after. It was a rainy. I remember it. I remember it so clear. It was a rainy Sunday afternoon. I sat down on the thing, buzzing to play this game, and I'd like. Do you know when it starts to thunderstorm in England? You get a bit of a headache, so you get a bit agitated, can't you? People get agitated. I get agitated because of the pressure and whatnot. And I was getting so agitated, and this guy was just constantly die, scumbag, die, scumbag. I was just like, mate, I can't play this game. So I turned it down to see if it, and it was just crap. Yeah, X Mutants it's for me, but Echo is right next to it. Like, what a terrible, terrible game. Jamie, worst game, Mega Drive. And Jamie loved Echo, by the way.
Yeah, and I still stand by equal rights for gay dolphins. I'm going to say Terminator 2. Mostly
Oh, that was
because
terrible.
What was the game?
I love the film, but Terminator 2, it was just fucking bullshit. It was just shit.
Terminator
agree.
2.
You know,
I can't remember it.
Terminator 2
Yeah, I
was
remember
alright. It wasn't a bad game. Terminator 2 was quite good.
It was shit.
Terminator 1 was brilliant, like absolutely fantastic. But Terminator 2 was good. I quite liked it. It's hard.
nah, it was just like you thought that you got the occasional fucking human that you had to kill. There was a T-1000 there that kept regenerating, and the film was amazing.
Yeah.
The game just didn't compare. I used to watch that film every day.
Yeah,
Great.
It was.
It's a great film.
but it's like the same disappointment with ET on the Atari. You know, I remember watching the adverts for the
Destroyed
ET.
it.
Oh my god. I
Destroyed
mean,
it.
don't get me wrong. It's not that much of a bad game considering it was on the Atari. You know, the Atari didn't really. I mean, the Atari had some bangers like Pitfall and whatnot, but it wasn't the best. But it wasn't the worst game in history. I don't understand why people say it. The only disappointing fact was that, like, you saw ET, like you saw Elliot flying with ET over the moon. You thought, oh man, this game's going to be like it, and then you just get this, and then a guy every now and then a random guy just killed you. Like, and then you get stuck in a pit you can't get out, it was just stupid, but it wasn't the worst game. But I get it where Jamie's coming from. I mean, you play Terminator 2. I mean, you watch Terminator 2, then you see a game that's Terminator 2, and you think it's just going to be like watching the film, and it's not.
There were another one out for Sega, and it would have been the second one I picked. I don't know if you guys ever played it based on a film. Wayne's World. You ever played that game?
That was good.
And you,
It was shit. It was just a cheesy Wayne's World face everywhere.
Yeah, they had massive heads, didn't they?
behave.
Didn't they have massive heads?
Yeah, massive head. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was terrible.
Oh, that was good.
They're the most pointless missions. You've got to get his socks from the basement.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Jamie's is Terminator 2. Robbo, what's your worst game on a Mega Drive?
Said it. Wayne's World, mate.
Wayne's World. It was good.
Terrible.
I mean, is it what
It was shit,
you
mate.
used to shoot like notes out of your guitar?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's wicked.
Just the cheesy
World.
face. It never. The face didn't change as you went across the map. It was the same cheesy face all the way across.
Yeah, it's wicked. And then it also it had the same kind of intro like Moonwalker. So when Michael Jackson goes, "Whoa!" But it had Wayne's World just going, "Party on, dudes," or whatever. What was it? What they used to say? I can't remember. Wayne's World.
Remember, we've got to do it. Remember, we've got to stream the game.
This is what, Jamie?
Oh,
when they'd say, "Oh, your mum's really attractive," not.
Oh no! Yeah, that's already making me cringe. Yeah, it was. To me, it wasn't that bad. It was like Ghostbusters. I think it was on the Master System or the Mega Drive, where the Ghostbusters had big heads. It was kind of the same game, and that was a good game as well. So yeah, we've gone for a Mega Drive. Let's go to the next list. So the worst games on the PlayStation 2. And just before we get into this, let's have a bit of a rant. Is the PlayStation 2 retro?
No.
yes. Yes.
I class retro over 20 years.
Okay.
No, you're both wrong. It's not retro. Just because it's old doesn't make it retro.
In what way?
All four of us are retro.
That's right.
Technically,
I'm Trent.
I feel retro.
Yeah, but your argument there, Jamie, is like just because it's old doesn't make it retro. So is the PS1 retro?
Yes.
No.
Is the Super Nintendo retro just because it's old?
No, because it's all about the graphics and the type of games and the limited options, as in like save. When the PlayStation 1 come out, you could save your game, which you couldn't do on NES, for instance, and you'd forever pausing it while you go and eat your dinner and hoping that it don't crash.
So then are you not calling N64 retro then? Because you could save that.
N64.
But it's still retro games, though, aren't they? Like Mario, that 2D platform shit.
Well, there's the place.
I've heard this argument before about PS2 with the games, and the games still hold up today. I mean, you could still play the Warriors today. You could still play San Andreas today, whatever. But we're on PS5 now. We're like 3 years into, maybe 4 years into a PS5. You know, we've had the PS3, PS4, 3 years. You know, PS2, man. It's a retro console for me.
No.
And Jamie disagrees. I mean, so Jamie, you're saying it's like, I mean, the N64 was 64-bit. That's classed as retro. So you're saying anything above 64-bit is retro? It isn't retro.
It isn't. Yeah.
Okay, so
And like Brent says,
I disagree.
you go to PS2 on now, and there's 500 games that are brilliant, and you can play, and you don't feel like you're playing a retro. You don't think, oh, bloody hell, this takes me back to my youth. You just think, oh, this is a good game. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, but that's the same. That's the same as playing Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, though, isn't it?
No, not for me.
you see, I was a big, but same as Jamie. I used to say that the PlayStation 2 is not retro until I started streaming PlayStation 2, and the graphics are starting to feel dated. Like
They are terrible.
Quite. I mean, some of the games. I mean, I was playing Def Jam New York, Fight for New York, and the graphics are fantastic.
Awesome game.
Brilliant game.
Fighting rappers.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. The game just holds out completely. And then, but then I stuck the Path of Neo on, and God, that was awful. Like the graphics were absolutely terrible. So I'm kind of I'm kind of in the middle of it at the minute. Like I don't know whether. I mean, I used to say it wasn't retro, but now I'm saying that maybe some of the games are, maybe not. So it's like I think it's slowly becoming retro. I think like because some of the games are starting to get dated. That's my opinion. So I'm kind of in the middle. Robbo, what do you think?
Like I say, I think anything over 20 years should be classed as a retro game. When it gets to the point when there's literally no releases for it anymore, you don't have to do updates for it anymore. You can literally plug them. Anything that you can just plug in and play should be classed as a retro game. It's not like anything from PS3 upwards, Xbox 360 upwards. You still have to do updates for them on consoles.
So
I mean, you could pull your N64 out of the garage, out of the attic, out of anywhere now. You could get that Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time out. Just bang that cartridge in, press on. There's no update. You're away. Doesn't matter. You're away. That's gaming. I could pull my PS3 out now, plug it in, put a game in. I can guarantee there'll be a fucking update. Guarantee.
Yeah, always. But the PlayStation 2 don't get one. So yeah, okay, maybe there's some good arguments there. But yeah, Brendan, worst PS2 game.
Oh man, it'd have to be the Incredible Hulk for me. It was the biggest load of shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was with the PS2. I was only 18, 19, something like that when it was released. So, the games that I wanted to play was like the third-person GTA 3, stuff like that. But then obviously I went to, I think it was Blockbuster Video or something, and I bought 2 games, The Incredible Hulk and Transformers, and they were both shit. Absolutely. Just clunky, looked crap. I don't know if they don't, I don't know, because obviously you got your GTAs and stuff that are made by Rockstar that put a lot into the games. I just don't know if these games are rushed, not got the budget that these big name games have. But honestly, mate, I think I put Hulk in, took it out after half an hour. That went back to Blockbuster. Transformers, I didn't even give it 10 minutes. It was the biggest pile of shit.
But there was nothing
I've ever played.
Mortifying, though, wasn't it? When you went to Blockbuster, you spent all that money, and you got buzzing, you got your crisps, you got your dips and your sweets, and you got your games, and you sit at home and you just got 2 proper crap games.
The thing is, the Incredible Hulk, Transformers, you think, yeah, these are going to be good games. They're big franchises, aren't they? You know what I mean? You look at the back, and you think, right, should I buy this or should I buy Tiger Woods? And the Tiger Woods is just that generic kind of thing that's the same shit released year after year. I wish I just bought Tiger Woods.
But it's good. That's the problem.
That's what I mean. I should have just bought Tiger Woods, the updated version of Tiger Woods, and just went to play golf for a couple of hours or whatever. But yeah, the 2, mate, they're the 2 that stick out in my mind as being terrible. Probably, and Fight Club as well. what the biggest load of shit that was.
That was a terrible.
I
game
was
for an amazing
devastated.
movie.
I agree.
Oh.
Well, it's my favourite book. It's one of my favourite movies. And then I thought, I'll tell you what, I've got the game. This is it. And I was devastated. I mean, the idea was good. I mean, the X-ray fighting was brilliant when you broke their arms and stuff. But it was quite a
Horrible.
big
We were like
disappointment.
Mortal Kombat knockoff, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a shame.
Oh, it was
They
horrible.
could have done so much with that. They could have done so much. I mean, I'd love to see like a San Andreas Fight Club. That would be sick. But yeah, they could have done loads with it. Jamie, worst PS2 game?
Fight Club was going to be one of them because it was quite a few movies made into games that was really, really bad, like Beverly Hills Cop. But,
Oh,
that was so
That was
shit.
terrible.
do you
that
remember
was-
Charlie's Angels? That was really, really shit.
Charlie's
Well,
Angels was the worst.
Charlie's Angel, terrible.
No, I mean Charlie's
they just-
Angels. Oh my fucking god! I forgot
Charlie's
about
Charlie's
Angel,
Angel.
terrible.
Beverly Hills
Yeah,
Charlie's
Cop.
Angel, terrible.
Hated that game.
Charlie's
But the word
Angel. No
is
disrespect.
Crazy Frog Racer.
This is what, Jamie?
Crazy Frog Racer.
Crazy Frog Racer, terrible.
Forgot about that. I forgot they released Crazy Frog game. What a
Couldn't you-
load of shit,
Mate,
Didn't he just ride an invisible bike?
mate. It was crap. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop was even worse. Charlie's Angels was diabolical. I mean, the Charlie's Angels
Which
thing,
was shit as well.
the camera was so buggy in Charlie's Angels as well. It was just so fucking frustrating. Yeah, hated it. Hated every single minute of it. So yeah, what you're saying there, Jamie? What's your worst one?
Crazy Frog Racer.
I mean, that's a given. No, that is such a given. What about you, Robbo? Worst PS2?
There's two massively bad games I played.
Go on.
Right. First one was the better of the two, but it was terrible. It was just a Tony Hawk's knockoff, which was the Simpsons skateboarding. It was
I
absolutely
never
pants.
played Simpsons. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, look! If you get a chance to look at it, it was terrible, mate.
No way. Simpsons.
And the worst-
skateboarding.
This was worse, and you probably didn't know this existed. I thought, oh, cool, buying it, and it was just a little bunch of mini games, and it was Little Britain, the game.
Yeah.
That was- yeah, I remember Little Britain. That was.
It was terrible.
It was so bad. That was one of the I paid for at Blockbuster, Bren. Like, I rented. I remember renting the series. The series Little Britain, because it was massive at the time, wasn't it? It was
It was
massive.
what?
And again, I've got a dwarf mate who was in Little Britain, and he was like, and I was like, okay, Little Britain, it's got to be funny, you know, it would be a good little drinking game or whatever. No, he wasn't even playable.
It was terrible.
That was really bad. I mean, my worst game on the PlayStation 2 was Catwoman. Did anyone play Catwoman?
I remember Catwoman.
Oh, it was so bad.
Glitchy as fuck.
Yeah.
It was shit.
It was. It was absolutely horrible, and the voice acting was like odd. Like it was just so bad. I remember. So I swapped it again. I used to swap games all the time, and I remember I swapped Halo, fucking Halo, for Catwoman. Oh man, because it looked
I think
good.
This was what amazing about Blockbuster, wasn't it? Because you could just rent them before you bought them. You thought, I'm going to rent this and see if it's any good or not. No, take that back, mate. Not interested.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, they used to do. They used to do a postage one as well, didn't they? Where they
What was
post
that
games
called?
out. Yeah. I
Yeah,
can't
what was it
remember.
called?
And you used to you used to rent your games. You just have them, and you have to post them back. They'd send them
Yeah,
out
yeah.
with like a return
Yeah.
envelope thing.
Well, we used to have a dodgy guy. It was in the Evening Telegraph, and he used to drive him round. So we used to pay him. He used to like give it all dodgy discs as well. Do you know what I mean? We used to buy. You could buy the dodgy discs. We used to give you a memory card, and you buy the memory card for something like £10. But then you used to get the games for free for £2, or it was like 2 for a tenner. No, free for a tenner, or like a £5 each. So you got 3 for £10 or £5 each. So we used to buy him every Friday because we had his memory card, and he used to just drop them off. We used to have loads of games, but yeah, that stopped us from going to Blockbuster. Yeah, Little Britain was actually the last game that I rented from Blockbuster. Never
That's
again.
when you went, I've had enough of this, never again.
Yeah, but I think I got God of War. Or, no, I think it was God of War 2
Awesome
with it
game.
as well. So there was a good balance. But yeah, who goes to Blockbuster and rents Little Britain and fucking God of War 2? Me. Yeah. Ridiculous. So we'll go with you, Robbo, this time. PlayStation 1, worst game.
I can't remember what it was called, but I remember it was like a Destruction Derby game. It was terrible.
That's exactly mine. Just everyone banged on about Destruction Derby. It was
And it
horrible.
was fucking terrible.
It was the worst.
I remember watching it. You show your damage on your car. You'd full on ram somebody and you cause more damage to yourself.
Yeah. And then,
So what's that all about?
And then, like, every now and then you'll skid round the corner. So you used to race, and I used to, like, bash people into the sides. And then, yeah, your car would get smashed up to pieces. You're like, hold on a minute. I've just smashed full pult into that guy, and my side...
4% damage to him.
Yeah, and I've gone head on with my bumper, but my back's just blown up because I've just hit someone. Like, what you talk in the side. Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Oh.
Completely. I'm with you 100%. Terrible.
I mean, Destruction Derby 2 was fantastic. Like, they changed everything, but Destruction Derby 1, I hated. And
you know.
yeah, it was really, really bad. I'm up there with you. Brendan, PlayStation 1.
2. I can remember buying. One of them was on recommendation from a friend, and it was Gex, The Rise of Gecko or something.
That was a wicked game. That was
good. It was absolutely shit.
Gex was like, really good.
When you get when you've played, because obviously when I got my PlayStation 1, it came with Crash Bandicoot. So that was like the first game I played on my PS1, and that was amazing. Love that game. You know, when I do my PS1 top 10, Crash Bandicoot will be in there. And then, like Robbo just mentioned there, Spyro. Played Spyro. Never owned Spyro, but I borrowed it. Played it good. Then it was all about this Gex, mate. Oh, my God. I thought it was glitchy. I thought found it boring. Camera angles were shit. Absolutely crap. And then I can remember buying South Park as well. That was
awesome
terrible. Game. It was terrible.
Which one was South Park? No. Was that the shooter?
Yeah, the first person shooter, mate. Yeah,
yeah, that was.
It was.
They used to throw the piss snowballs at people, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was just. It was
a good game.
I thought it was quite good.
It was just too easy. You know, like
we were just the thought of chucking pissy snowballs at people, wasn't
it? And it had all like other famous sayings, and like every time you kill Kenny, like you kill Kenny. It was good. I liked it.
I thought the visual effects were shit on it, to be honest. But when you're going, I mean, how much was a PS1 game back in 95 or 6, whatever it was, or
25 quid?
And you go down and you buy this game, 25 quid, and you just think to yourself, why didn't I just buy some fags and some beer?
Money.
You know what I mean? Or just something like that, or you know, buy the Sunday Sport or something. You know what I mean? But no,
I'm not going to
buy South Park.
I'm not buying South Park. I'm getting myself some fags and reading the Sunday Sport.
You know.
Come on, Jamie. Worst PS1 game. Worst PS1.
I've got 2.
Get it out. Let's get the anger out.
Mortal Kombat Special Forces.
Whoa. That was good. That was really good. Well, it wasn't really good, but it was not the worst. Right.
And the Simpsons wrestling game. Was it
Backyard? Oh, my God.
I never played that.
I remember that. I thought it was pretty good, but I love wrestling.
I never played it.
That's why
do a big elbow from Homer Simpson off like off top rope. Bosh.
Yeah, to me that sounds really good.
It was shit.
It's what, Jamie?
He used to walk through the ropes, and you'd be like, "What? How do you do that?"
Magical ropes, mate.
I might have
meant to happen.
I might have to stream that because that sounds brilliant. I mean. Why not? I mean, Barney power slamming Abu. I mean, how much fun does that sound? That sounds wicked. Bart Simpson figure four leg locking Lisa.
I mean, Nelson Muntz.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, that sounds brilliant. What's that little dumb kid in it? And like, oh, I've got the ice cream.
Ralph.
There we go. Imagine
I'm in danger.
I mean, what's more fun than sitting Ralph in the middle of a wrestling ring and just throwing him through tables and chairs and not? I mean, that sounds wicked.
And all that, it would have been a great game.
Oh, can you not do any of that? What can you do in it? I don't know. I've never.
Basically, an elbow drop.
Punch one of them.
Is that what you can do?
It was just crap, mate. It was just a really crap game. And just like Mortal Kombat at Special Forces, it sounded like it was going to be brilliant, and it really, really wasn't. Like,
He's right. He's right.
You had special ability, didn't you? You had to like get the meter up by fucking beating people, but it was just shit. And the graphics were crap as well.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm definitely gonna check that out.
You know what Jamie?
Are we doing it?
You know what Jamie
definitely.
said there. You know, while we're on the PS1, Jamie just literally smashed the nail into everybody's head there. PS1 graphics games don't hold up good whatsoever.
Yes, they do. Tekken 1, fantastic.
No, mate.
Hercules looks fantastic. Hercules
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
Lemmings looks good.
He's terrible, Robbo.
Hogs of War, Worms. There's hundreds of games. Hogs of War is so good. There's loads of games on the PlayStation that hold out. Loads. The Castlevania series is fantastic.
Yeah, they're really good. But then you're talking them RPG games like Vagrant Story and
Vagrant Story's graphics are brilliant.
That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying. But
Final
Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 9.
But with that, what I'm trying to get at is if you go on to your emulator or whatever, and you go and try and play, I don't know, like Jamie said there, Mortal Kombat, Special Forces, it looks horrendous, Liam.
Some do.
Horrendous.
Well, that's what makes it a retro game. Because it hasn't got the graphics of today.
I get it, because I got the new version of Abe's Odyssey, like the remastered one, and I played it, and I was like, and then I was like, okay, I'll jump on and do Abe's Odyssey on the PlayStation 1. And yeah, the graphics were really bad. I didn't realise they were
never get by
bad.
first level of Abe's Odyssey ever. It was the hardest game on earth.
Different.
It's what, Jay?
Retro game and retro console is two completely different subjects.
What do you think?
Definitely.
Actually, I agree with that. That's what I mean. That's what I was saying about the PlayStation 2. I was saying some games feel retro, like the Path of Neo feels retro. But if you play something like, again, Shadow of Colossus looks fantastic. Like God of War, the God of Wars are beautiful. So yeah, I think that's the best way of putting it.
Is when it gives you that nostalgia feeling when you're playing it, not that you're bored, you just want to get off.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to. It's your personal preference in games. Because my gaming's different to all three of your different gaming. I mean, like I could look at Brendan. I know for a fact if I mentioned Pokemon or Final Fantasy, he'd be like, "Fuck me, what a bag of shit."
No, they're wicked games.
If I'm being honest, I've never given them the time that they probably deserve. To be honest, I don't know if Bumcheek's a fan of Pokemon and Final Fantasy games or not.
Do you know, I am not a fan of retro games in general. To be honest with you,
yeah.
I don't know why you want to go back and play that shit when you could turn your Xbox on now and play, I don't know, Dante's Inferno.
Which is a retro game.
No, it's not.
Dante, I would class Dante's Inferno as a retro game.
What?
Yeah. The 360 is classed as a retro.
I'm not having that.
And this is why. And this is why we wanted you on the show. And this is why we want because you've got a different opinion, completely different.
Distract the female viewers.
The question I've got, Bumcheek, right, is Dante's Inferno, for example. Will you still be playing that game in another 10 years' time?
Yeah, it came out in 2011.
Then it's retro.
Right.
Then it's retro. Then it's got the potential of being an amazing retro game. If you're still willing to play it in another 10, 20 years' time, it's a classic retro game.
But that's basically the point, isn't it? I think that's what Jamie's saying as well, is that like it's not the console that's retro, it's the games that are turning retro, not...
Well, that's just an amazing game, isn't it?
Oh.
I mean, I still play stuff from 1989. I love Wonder Boy. I'll play that game from start to finish 3-4 times a year.
I mean,
it's one of my favourite games.
I mean, Jamie's got a really good... I mean, Robbo, quick, simple question. I mean, I'll answer your question for you, Jay, is why do people play retro games? I personally think it's my ADHD. I think I'm a dopamine collector, and I love that nostalgia. Like, when you first turn on the PlayStation and you hear that that noise it makes, or like, you know, I love that.
I get all that, I really do, and you know, nostalgia's amazing, love it. But given the choice of play, if you say, right, Jamie, you've got 3 hours, you've got to play a game in that 3 hours. I'm going to play something modern and something maybe that I've not played before, or something that I know is good and I have played before with brilliant graphics and everything else that comes with it. I'm not going to play Mario Kart from 1994 because, well, as you saw the other day, Liam, I'm not very good at it.
So if you
know what? Sorry, Liam. Do you know what, mate? Right, he's got a point there because I struggle a bit. You know, like if I play Gran Turismo on the PS5, yeah. And don't get me wrong, Gran Turismo 1 and 2 on the PlayStation 1 and that, I loved them. Them. I spent hours and hours, but I would struggle to go and play the new new Gran Turismo on PS5 and then plug in a PlayStation and play Gran Turismo 1, if that makes sense.
But you're looking at it completely different. So, I mean, that's like going, oh, I would never play FIFA on the Mega Drive, but I would play FIFA now. Yeah. But you're comparing games, you know, it's not, they're like standard games that get rebooted and rebooted. So you wouldn't do that. But for me, if I was sat down and I went, okay, I'm going to come home, I want to play a game, I would quite easily stick Super Star Wars on, and I would blast that for half an hour because I can finish it in half an hour. Or, you know, I'd stick to, if Robbo, like me and Robbo, like we go online, like me and Robbo sit there, so we place a session of Sunset Riders. It's only 20 minutes long. You know, and you could chuck these games up, and it's a brilliant game. You're fun. You're chatting like you did. Like if you play modern games now, a lot of modern games you don't get to talk, right? And a lot of people say, yeah, you do. You don't. You lose concentration. You sit there and play Call of Duty, you're going to lose concentration. You play Fortnite, you lose concentration. You either talk about the game or fucking go. And that's it. If you sat down and play Sunset Riders, you can sit there and have a blast, and you could talk about your problems. You could talk about what's going on at home. You could talk about all the good things. You could talk about the game. You could talk about anything because you just sat there chilling out. It's it's the style of games that you're looking at.
You remember when every Friday night, me, you, Bren, TB, Ricky, we'd all play Call of Duty every Friday night, and we'd spend most of that game chatting shit. And yeah, we'd be talking. Who's Bum Cheek Dave? You know, Brendan's famous. Who the fuck is Bum Cheek Dave? As I killed him because he kept spawning in front of me. But you know, you wouldn't just talk about the game. You'd talk like we're talking now, and you'd have the game on at the same time.
Yeah, but nowadays, if you sat down and played Call of Duty multiplayer or sat down and played Call of Duty Modern Warfare, you ain't talking to nobody, mate. Like
you have to be in zone.
Yeah. If you're not in the zone, you're dead. And for me, like if you came around mine, Jamie, I would sit there and I would sit down and put Mario the Lost Worlds on, or play Sonic on the Mega Drive, or Street Fighter, or like Super Street Fighter 2. I mean, wicked games that you could just sit down with your mates and just play like Windjammers.
This is what I was saying.
Easy, and
Windjammers is mint. Anyone that says it's shit,
yeah,
can fuck off.
Yeah, they need a smack.
This is what I was trying to get at about the PS1 games don't stand up, because I can go on and play Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo or Mario World, Mario Kart, and I enjoy playing them. But if I turn even Tomb Raider on PS1, I'm like, I can't play it because it looks shit.
What about Street Fighter on the PlayStation? Wicked.
Never really played it. Never really played them on the PlayStation.
Well, that's what I mean. Well, that's what I mean. You've not played these games that people keep coming back to. I mean, I can't believe you've never played Final Fantasy 7, 8, or 9, and they are voted one of the greatest games in history.
Yeah, I get that.
So it's. I mean, I can't play Gran Turismo on the PlayStation 1. I get it.
The original one. Oh my god,
yeah,
what a game!
Or Metal Gear Solid 3, or Metal Gear Solid 2. No, they're PlayStation 2s, aren't they? But Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PlayStation, if you played that now, it's still fucking mind-blowing.
Amazing.
Do you know what I mean? Like the guy who reads your memory card. Do you know what I mean? Or the guy who controls your control pad. Have you ever sat down and played the game and he's you can't play? And you're like, shit, I can't do anything. Like, why?
Yeah, it takes controls away from you.
It takes the controls away from you. And you're like, why? And then what you have to do is you have to get over it, you have to unplug your joypad and plug it in the second player. And you're like, you can't read my mind now, mate. You know, and it's games
Took
like that.
ages to work that out. I had to read that in one of them fucking magazines.
Yeah, and you're trying to get hold of Merrill and her. You're like, you're sitting there and he says, the digits are on the back of the box. And I was sitting there for about a week going, what does he mean, the digits on the back of the box? And it's actually on the case for the PlayStation.
Yeah.
You know, and it's stuff like that. Like, and I can go back now. I did not long ago and completed Metal Gear Solid 1 because it is brilliant.
Awesome.
It's brilliant. I mean, what
It
about
is an awesome game.
Tekken 3? I mean, you could go back, or Soul Calibur. You can jump back on these games, and you can relive good times with them. It's probably, I don't know, it's probably the right people, the right moment. I mean, I find it. I get where Brennan Jamie's coming from because it is difficult to go back. I mean, Jamie, did you stick Dante's Inferno on the 360? Did you play it?
Yeah, do you know something? It's free on Gamer Pass, and I downloaded it the other day. My missus is a bit of a gamer. I turned it on and she's like, oh, this is good. And then we spent the night playing it, just like when she died, she'd pass it to me. When I died, I'd pass it to her. And we spent a good 3 or 4 hours playing that. And it was fun. It was a fun night. The two of us just having a laugh. You know, I get to see boobs. Yeah, they're not real, but, you know.
But that's but you've literally just hit the nail on the head. Like, that's literally, you know, you had that nice night where you've just picked up an old game and enjoyed it. And that's what people do, is they just pick up these retro games that they remember when they're kids, like Micro Machines. I mean, yeah, I can sit and play that all day long. And me and Robbo just picked it up, and Brett picked it up the other day and just sat down and played it.
The most annoying thing about retro games is they look like they should be easy, and they're not.
That's what makes it good.
No,
that's what makes it good.
No, retro games are easy, but it's the same as they are in modern games. Like modern games now, you sit there and you get tutorials, you get everything, like, oh yeah, let's go and run around and go to this and jump this and crouch this and press B. We all know B's to crouch, we all know X is to shoot, R triggers to shoot, we know X is to jump, we know squares to reload. We don't need all this. We don't, you know. But if you sat down and you put Super Star Wars on, it just goes right, level 1. See you in a bit.
Back on.
Yeah. See you in a bit. Off you pop. Figure it out. Yeah. You're like, am I dying constantly? And you're just like, shit. But now,
it's that excitement of learning the game on your own. I think that's what you're getting at.
I mean, when I played Super Star Wars, I mean, I've just finished the video and I've got the video ready to be uploaded. It took me 97 days, and I got up every single day and just played 3 hours. I tried to complete it maybe once or twice a day, and if I died, I'd start again. Yeah, and I sat down.
How long's the game?
Not that long, about an hour, 45 minutes.
And it took you 97 days.
It's solid. It's yeah.
Like really, I've not played it.
Okay, so Ghouls and Ghosts on the SNES. You guys recently played Ghouls and Ghosts on the SNES. It's hard as that. But I finished Ghouls and Ghosts. Like, I've completed Ghouls and Ghosts, and that took me nearly 6 months to complete. But I just you just remember that comes out there, that comes out there, that comes out there, and then by the time you get to like the 4th, 5th level, you've just ignored all that. You just remember in the next bits because you remembered all of that before, and it's just about grinding on the game. It's just an older way of doing it, grinding a game. But to me,
it's
that's
the original
fun.
Dark Souls. It was meant to be rock hard.
Exactly. It's like Elden Ring. It's just fun. It's a fun game. It's hard. You're meant to die. It's meant to be solid. So you just persevere. And I tell you what, you will never ever get a feeling of completing a game like Ghouls and Ghosts or Super Star Wars. Mate, I cried when I completed Super Star Wars. Like, I'm not joking. I was on camera and I just burst out crying. I was like, I can't believe it. I've just spent all this time doing it because I worked so hard to do it. And that to me is the achievement, and that's why retro is good. It's because it feels better. I mean, if I sat down and completed Halo or Halo 2 or finished the storyline or finished the storyline COD, you think, oh, okay, that's good. Let's go multiplayer. You know, that's it.
I think the retro that you seem to be forgetting is sometimes you'll play a game and you'll introduce it to your friends who have never played it, and you're literally giving them your childhood. It's like, this is what I did. This is what I was doing when I was 12 years old, when I was 13 years old. It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah. It's almost like with like what Liam, I suppose, now that what I'm listening to what Liam said and what you've just said, Robbo, you're like if you're playing like GTA 5, you don't ever die, if that makes sense.
No, you don't.
No,
if you die on Super Ghouls and Ghosts, you're going back to start that level. You know what I mean? Where modern day games now, you get shot in Call of Duty, you just respawn and you're back. You just go again. Do you know what I mean?
I tell you what, to do something for me, Bren. You play Super Ghouls and Ghosts and just get past the first level. And see how good that feels. Just get past the first level. It's solid. Just the first level's absolutely ridiculous. And it gets to me, it gets easier and easier. But if you played the first level on Super Calls and Ghosts, you'll be like, oh my god, I've just done that. And then for me, that's a drive, that's a buzz, that's a thing that I always go for. And
I'll record it and we can upload it.
Yeah, we'll do it, and then we'll keep attempting. Brand's just got to just do it, you know. But anyway, let's go back to what we could talk about this all day. So we're going to go back to the worst games on the Super Nintendo. Mine, straight up, is dead easy. It's horrible. It's the worst game ever. Is Eek the Cat. Did anyone play Eek the Cat?
The cat.
Oh, God. I remember I bought the game, and it's got this brilliant picture of this cartoon cat on the cover. It's my first lesson in never judge a book by its cover. It was this amazing cartoon character, and I mean, even if you look at it in the PlayStation, like in the Games Master magazine, you could see all the pictures of the cat walking across, and basically the cat's walking across like you're trying to stop your old woman who's blind or whatever, and you're trying to stop her. I didn't play it too long to find out, but you're trying to stop her from walking into things. It was fucking terrible. I was absolutely gutted, and I spent I think it was back then was like 30 quid, and it was like my birthday game.
Money gone.
Yeah, just gone, and I couldn't swap it with anyone either.
No one wanted it.
No, Jamie's worst SNES game.
I didn't play a lot of SNES, but there was a racing game, and you were sat in it. It was race or I don't remember now. Race driving.
Your sound's gone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear now. Yeah, you sound a bit dodgy. Yeah.
Race driving, I think it was called.
Race driving. I've never heard of race driving.
No, cool. It's not a street racer, is it?
No. I'm gonna look it up on the computer.
I was thinking of Rise of the Robots.
Oh my god!
That pile of shit.
Well, that was shit, but I've already said that for Sega, so.
Yeah, what about Pit Fighter? Did anyone play that?
That was terrible.
Pit Fighter. Oh god, but yeah, there's quite a lot of SNES
I got
games.
that for Christmas. That game.
Oh no! Bet you smack your parents for that bad boy. I mean,
when you come to me, my story's better.
Oh. Okay.
Right, so I had a mate who lived 5 doors up the road from me in lovely Allington, and he kept going on about this Shaq Fu.
Oh no!
I've heard about this game before.
It was crap.
He wouldn't let me obviously come and play. He said, "Oh, I've completed it. I'll swap it for you. I'll swap it. Yeah. What games have you got?" And obviously, I just had the generic. I had the Mario All Stars. I had Street Fighter 2, Star Wing, Super Mario World, and Super Mario Kart. And I didn't want to let any of them go. He said, "Oh, I'll swap you for Super Mario World. You won't regret it." I was like, "Yeah, all right then." So I swapped it.
What
and
an asshole.
An hour later, I went downstairs crying to my dad in the kitchen. He went back and got my Super Mario World for me. He said, "You ripped my son off or something," you know what I mean? But yeah, I remember putting Shaq Fu on. I was like, what is this? I mean, Shaq O'Neal back then was massive. Do you know what I mean?
But that game was shit.
He was like the global super. He was like the Cristiano Ronaldo, the Lionel Messi today, Shaq O'Neal. And this game was the biggest pile of shit I've ever put in. There's some really, really bad games out there, but this piece of shit was, sorry for swearing, I don't want to swear too much on this podcast, to be honest, but yeah, Shaq Fu deserves a swear word. Absolutely crap.
Or two.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that'd be up there, mate. That'd be up there.
Yeah. Shaq Fu is definitely one of the worst on the SNES. So, Jamie, did you find out what yours was?
Yeah, it was called race driving, and you used to get a high-powered sports car, and you'd have to do like stunts with it. You'd drive up and it was just really good.
Yeah, you're cutting out again. You need to talk into the mic.
Play at SNES, but if I went to my cousin's house and he used to pick on me, and he'd only let me play shit games. And that was
What about you, Robbo?
It was just another generic movie, but they use the same engine as Donkey Kong Country, and it were Batman Forever, and it just didn't work. Because if you put them side by side, it was exactly the same game. They just replaced all the Donkey Kong Country characters with Batman Forever characters. It was terrible.
Can't remember that.
Yeah.
I can't remember it.
Check it out, honestly. You can tell you're just meant to be in like the jungle, and you're like in Riddler's lair. It's like it just doesn't work.
Fucking hell. Right, so we're going to discuss the last thing. This is our last question is what in your head, out of every game, maybe if it's one we've already said, what is the worst game you have ever played? Ever. On anything. Ever. Biggest disappointment, biggest anything. The worst thing that you can think of. What is the worst game ever? Everyone's gone silent.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my PS2 choices. I can't take one away from the other. So it'll be Hulk, Transformers, just absolutely big, massive letdowns. Obviously, wanted to. I've always liked the Hulk and Thor and all that for years and years. And then Transformers was one of my cartoons growing up. So I wanted them to be amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was in my 20s. So I should have grown up by then. But just massive disappointments for me. The Incredible Hulk and Transformers, the game. Just, not even, I wouldn't even put them in a 99p bin. I wouldn't, mate. I'd put them on the same. I mean, I know, like Liam, you mentioned it there about ET getting a hell of a lot of stick on the Atari, but
it's not a bad game.
But I would put these two with that. You know, if people think ET's really, really that bad, then them two PS2 titles. I mean, anybody who's listening to this podcast, get in touch with us and let us know if you actually enjoyed playing them two, because I've never found anybody that does. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have played them, but they are poor.
I played Hulk and I hated it.
It's terrible.
It was crap. It was like Twisted Metal graphics. You know, it was like PlayStation 1 graphics. It was just dodgy. Yeah. I mean, my worst game in history. So Robbo and Jamie can have a think about theirs. My worst game in history, and I was devastated, was Bomberman Act Zero. Has anyone ever played Bomberman Act Zero? And now everyone's thinking, oh, Bomberman's brilliant. This was not.
Bomberman. I've not played that one.
Right, so Bomberman Act Zero was like a 3D Bomberman, like a first-person Bomberman. So you went round the maze doing it, and it was, oh my god, it was just imagine. Do you know what they did with RoboCop? Do you know how RoboCop was brilliant in the 80s, and you had all it was just brilliant. You could watch it, and then they remade it with that crap visor and. Just made it. It was exactly the same as that. Yeah, Bomberman was just perfect, and then they literally just gave it like this futuristic look. Like all the men, the guy looks like the Bombermen look like RoboCop. Like it's shit, and it was so horrible. And to me, I think it ruined the whole franchise. And for me, it's the worst game in history. Like worst.
Was it
along with Destruction Derby and the PlayStation?
Was it the same? Was it the same concept? This Bomberman.
Yeah, but in 3D. But I'm not. I think you could have a top view. I'm not sure. I never played it that long to see a top view. But the view that I did play was like imagine Call of Duty in a maze playing Bomberman, but with futuristic guns and futuristic bombs, putting them down.
Oh, so you're like running around a maze kind of thing and dropping your bomb. Oh, really?
Yeah, it was.
That concept sounds
of it.
It was shit.
That concept sounds pretty cool though.
It's Bomberman, but in first person, so you couldn't really see where the people were. Like so you were just running around. So imagine running around a maze, dropping a bomb.
Just blind, isn't it?
It's just you're blind, but it was just so bad. I can't. I mean, it had potential, and that's what I thought. Yeah. I thought, I know, a futuristic Bomberman. It's 3D graphics. I loved all the Bomberman. It's like I've completed. Played, smashed them all to pieces, loved them, smashed joypads, lost friends, playing Bomberman, like loved it. And then this one was just like, I think I played it for like 3 minutes and just was like, no, this is gone, it's in a bin. And if anyone brings it near me again, I think I'll have PTSD and just smash it.
What console was it on?
PlayStation. Shit. Awful. Awful, awful, awful. Robbo, what about you? Worst game in history?
Well, it's not new and it's not old. And the one I remember playing, and I'm quite excited for it, were, it's the last Xbox I had was 360, and it was Rambo, the video game.
Rambo was crap.
I
Rambo was
remember it.
really
Remember
bad. Yeah, I remember it. That was
Yeah.
bad. Oh, that's another
The
game.
graphics were crap for a 360. The storyline was shit. It was glitchy as fuck, and the storyline were you could complete it in like 40 minutes,
Yeah, it was shit.
and it was a £50 game.
Yeah.
I remember it.
Yeah.
I remember because I was like, oh my god, I remember that because I remember it quite clear. It was the same thing with like when Mortal Kombat 11 released RoboCop, Terminator, Rambo. I was like, oh my god, yeah. And I actually didn't buy it at the start because of that game. Where I was like, no, they're going to ruin Rambo like that game did on the PlayStation. So yeah, I totally fucking that was a terrible game. That was
2008.
really bad. Was that how long ago it was?
I was really looking forward.
I forgot.
I was really looking forward to that game and all. Really looking forward to that game.
I think
on day one
everyone
release.
was.
It was shit.
They made it look amazing on the adverts. I
Oh,
remember,
it looked
I
so
need
good.
this game. And they're like, what the fuck is this shit?
The thing is, the Rambo on the Mega Drive was brilliant. So
Amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
it was really, really good. So then when you got the game like that come up, you're just like, oh no, can't do it. No. That was a big disappointment. That's probably one of the biggest disappointments in gaming history for me. Yeah, good
agree.
call. Yeah, really good call. Jamie,
Jet Set Radio Future.
Get Set Radio Future. What's that?
Jet Set.
So,
Oh, Jet Set. Jet Set Radio.
yes. But they bought another one out for the Xbox, and you were skating around like Tokyo, and you had to do spray painting on walls and try and weaving through shit traffic and grinding on. Oh, it was just a really, really crap game, and I hated it.
I love Jet Set Radio. That was amazing. The one on the Dreamcast.
No. It came out later. It was still a Sega game, but it came out for the Xbox.
Yeah.
It was Jet Set Radio Future, so it was the second one.
I've never.
I remember it.
I don't even know about that game, so that's another game. I love Jet Set Radio. The first one was fantastic, like really, really good. So yeah, I'll check that out. But yeah, I hope you guys have had a nice, good old moan, and you feel a bit better, and you're a bit more stress relieved, and no more retro gaming. We could start off all the positive stuff on the next episode. We're going to do our favourite games, and we're going to talk about all them. So we're going to start off on a negative and end on a positive. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. Brendan, what do you think? Have you got anything else to say? Have you got anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, just on this episode, really, I'm going to be releasing my personal choice of the worst top 10 games that I've actually played. So it's not going to be what Metacritic say, or it's what I think, what games I've actually played myself. And I'm going to compile my worst top 10 games that I've ever played.
Fantastic. That's a good idea. It's good. And I'm doing the same at the moment. I'm doing the worst games that I've ever played. And for you guys who don't know, what we're doing is, because there's four of us, we're all going to be doing our own top 10. So at the moment, there's quite a lot of my top 10s on there. But Brendan's is going to be on there as well. And then Robbo's. And, some of you are going to agree with me. Some are going to agree with Robbo. Some are going to agree with Brendan. Some with Bumcheek. And that's the point of it, is that, you're going to get four different people's opinions on games, and it's going to enlighten you up a little bit more about it, because we're all different people and we've all got different styles of games. Like me and Robbo pretty much have the same style of game that we like, but Jamie and Brendan have complete different games and styles and what they think. So it's going to be a mix of it's going to be completely different reviews and top 10s completely. So it's going to be interesting. So if you want to check them out, there's going to be coming up soon. Robbo?
Yeah, just a little bit on what you were talking about, both you guys, and this has opened my mind a bit more since I started gaming with you, not just starting this cast and this channel, is I've started playing games that I didn't think I'd ever play. I mean, I'm suddenly quite a massive fan of World of Warcraft. I didn't think I'd ever say that, but thanks to Liam, I think it's a brilliant game, and I can't wait to get cracking on the new DLC.
Yeah.
And the amount of new games I've been introduced to, and the classed as retro games, but they're new to me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, a lot of great content to come. A lot to look forward to, guys.
Yeah, amazing.
Hell of a lot.
Jamie?
I like the big story-based games, like Skyrim, Fallout.
Yeah.
That's my kind of game. So I think I might. I'll try a bit. I'll try anything once. There's nowhere I won't stick my tongue. But yeah. I won't go down the line saying the worst game ever. I think it's more a case of the most disappointing game ever. Because you know when you're buzzing for a new game that's coming out, like Starfield. I could not wait. That was a free game that I paid for so I could get it a week early, and I'd stopped playing it before they'd released it for free because it was that crap.
Yeah. Starfield is a good example. I mean, I wasn't a fan of Starfield either. I remember you guys banging on about it in the group, and I was just like, lads, like, it's not that good. Like, stop trying to justify that you just spent 120 quid on the bot. Shit.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. But yeah, so we've got more, and then Jamie's going to be doing his top 10s as well, and we've got plenty of 1 minute reviews if you want to go and check out that. We've actually hit a milestone, so we've only been going for 4 weeks, and we are at 11,458 subscribers and followers in 1 month. So whatever we're doing is working. Yeah, it's the highest I've ever had in any podcast or anything that we've ever done. So I want to thank everybody that has joined us, listened, helped us, shared. I mean, we've got over 3,000 shares on one of our videos, which is just mind-blowing. So whatever we're doing is working. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. And that was our worst games in history episode. And I'm going to be doing a top 10 worst games as well. So hopefully that will come soon. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon. And let's see you in the next episode.
I love that sound.